Your circle will change as you accomplish your goals and level up. Everybody can't go.
And we live. Happy Wednesday and welcome to another Everybody Can't Go Convo. Today I am here with the ultimate gifting experience. Like if you think that
Thank you, Jessi. How are you this great Wednesday? So, my name is Melissa West. I am the founder and owner of Whatabox Gifting Experiences. My company is actually called Present Gifts LLC, which is giving gifts or experiences in the present that will last a lifetime. So, I'm just like the ultimate gifting person. Surprise you, like the hookup, like if a store is closed, if a restaurant is closed, I will take my house and turn it into a cafe. I just love to give. I'm just a giver. So, right around 2013, I started making baskets for underprivileged youth and their families during the holidays. So I would gather my girlfriends, we would put money together, we would get with our jobs and get people to donate like turkeys and gifts for the kids and all type of things. And I would go out, I would buy these boxes and I just would curate them and start giving them to people. And then I started doing it for friends and family members. And most recently, we all are in a mastermind and we had made some gifts for some individuals who were on the speaking summit for our coach. And I made the boxes and they were just a hit. And from there, Whatabox was born. So I didn't even intend for it to be a business. I I just, was doing what I do. Yes.
and we back live because I'm not gonna let this Wi-Fi take me out today, okay? Y'all, we haven't look, the storms, the technical difficulties,
Yep.
and you know what? I'm only gonna do so many chops and edits when I edit this because y'all need to know that this is real. Like,
Period. Right. The
look,
ebbs and flows of small businesses. People don't understand.
that's facts. That's facts. And you know what? Look, y'all got about one more time before I go ahead and name drop y'all and how this just like this signal keep dropping over here at the crib, okay? So anyway, as I was saying, um, getting to my own experience with receiving a Whatabox, box, it was even though I had like anticipation for something coming, it was still like very exciting for me. It was almost like I had never like that I didn't have an expectation in the beginning because it superseded that. Like I would the way that I was just overjoyed opening my box and taking out everything that I'm like, oh my goodness, like this really was curated for me. And it really hit, like it hit like deep. And I really loved the
You give
experience.
me
I really
goosebumps.
did. And so with the feeling that I got with receiving my box, I just knew that made me even more excited for the boxes that were going out, that you helped me to get out to my bridesmaids, people that are near and dear to my heart, people who they've agreed to do something that is so special to me and my fiance. Like, so I was just like overjoyed, super excited. And I'm like, you know what, no, we gotta have her on because I'm like, the rest of y'all, if you don't know, you know now. And of course, per usual, we're gonna make sure in the show notes that you guys get what you need so that you're able to have your own Whatabox experience. And just thinking about Whatabox as a brand, I also wanted to be sure that we touched on and talked about just some of the things that happen during, like you said, in them ebbs and flows
Oh
of
my goodness.
figuring out what is going on
Hmm.
with small businesses and the things that go on as we're growing.
Wow.
And yeah, I've been going in for a second, so I'm gonna let you jump in here.
What I can say is that you've never experienced business until you become a business owner, right? So even if you're on in a high level position in a corporation that someone else owns and you think that you are a leader, your leadership skills really come into play when you start your own business. And I mean, it's not for the faint of heart. There are so many challenges that come with it, but there are also rewards. So it's just like I can't even really put it into words. It's just like it's hard, but it's soft, and it's like a nice brownie. Like like it's kind of crispy on the edges, but it's chewy in the inside. So you're going through the thing and you're going through the growing pains, but as long as you continue to go, you're going to reap the reward. So there's days that you're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this is happening. And starting to bring people on and different personalities, actually being able to get the product and dealing with different distributors. So a product-based business is such a difficult take, especially if all of the products don't belong to you, if you're working with other like businesses and you're basically marketing their products as well inside of your product. So you have to make sure that you have this vibe and this mutualism. You have the same values. And so it was people were saying it should just happen because you're just creating a box, but they don't understand that it's not just a box, it's an experience, right? Any gift that you receive, I think you should, it's not just for the person who's receiving, it's also for the giver. So, as the giver of the gift, I love to see the happiness on the other person's face. That is my ultimate goal. Tears are like that. If I get tears, that's like the crescendo of gift giving. Like happy tears, I'm like, oh my goodness, I did it. So, I just stand by the Bible verse is better to give than to receive. And that's even in the business aspect, the learning process, the learning curve, you can't just think that you're going to create a product and it's just going to sell. You have to build a sustainable business. And so that's what I'm working on. It didn't I believed that it was just going to boom and bam, and now I'm it's literally step by step, slow motion. You know the song Slow Motion, baby.
And look, slow motion is better than no motion because that's
Yes.
how you perfect not just the experiences themselves, because that's the part that is already perfect,
Yeah.
is when you open in the box. It's scaling that to being able to provide that to just like more and more people on a regular basis. And like I encourage your growth in the brand, just because the feeling behind what happens when you open that box. And it wasn't just me. One of my bridesmaids was actually on the phone with me when she opened her box, and she's like, oh my god, like, and I'm like, no, I'm about to have tears because like, even though I'm not there, like I already know what you like, what it's like. And us being on the phone together as she was opening hers, it's just it's an awesome thing for sure, for sure. And so look, as much time as it takes and as slowly as things need to be built, that's look, whatever has to happen, because
And
the
I want to
feelings that
say thank
come.
you to you for being patient when I was going through, because I was trying to give you the best experience possible. And a lot of people, they don't understand. I'm even starting to be a better consumer because, and give people grace. and not be on the phone mad like it was supposed to get here. And yes, things are inconveniences, but in small business, I mean, to perfect the thing, you could go out and outsource this, right? Right. But then you would lose the feel of it. You would lose the heart of it. And I think a lot of times we fast forward things, and things are outsourced, and you don't still get the experience of it. And that's what, you just rode with me. You were just a rider. You're like, girl, I got you. I have 2 more boxes to send out to some special people for you. Um, I had interns come in, and that was just because it's not, what I learned is when it's not someone's business, they don't care for it as much as you. It's like a baby, so they don't have the same. Now you will eventually find those people, but you do go through, like, you have to go through the testing. And I've definitely gone through the testing of, trusting and it not work, and then shipping and things break. You don't think about those things in the beginning. You're thinking it's just going to be perfect. And then you realize that it's not perfect. You don't know if it's ever going to be perfect, but you try to perfect it as much as you can. And so I'm really grateful for people like you who said, we're going to go through the testing together. And that's why the mastermind has been so great, is to have, your cohorts and your friends and people who are willing to say, I'm willing to trust in you. I believe in your brand. I believe in your business. And so whatever it takes, we'll get through it together. So I'm really thankful to you. I want to say thank you for entrusting me with such an important task, to serve you and your bridesmaids for such one of the most important times of your life.
Of course, of course. And look, no questions asked. You already know. That's why it's the title. That's why it's the book. That's why it's the brand. Everybody can't go.
Yes.
It's the very same thing in business as well. As you are building out your team, finding those people who are the right fit.
Yes.
And sometimes we can find people to work with us within our business who they're great as
Yeah.
a worker. They're maybe a great employee, just not employed by me, or just not
Exactly.
employed by
Yes.
you.
Yes.
um because there are just certain like nuances. It doesn't make any person involved in the situation bad or anything like that, but
Right.
that's just the reality of everybody can't go in your business as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And you actually one of the first people that we've had on in quite a few weeks, in quite a few episodes, where we've dove into
So,
delved
mhm.
you- somebody that's an English major, you know the word, but where we've actually like taken a deep dive into what it looks like when everybody can't go in
Mm.
your business. And because there are so many emotions involved, in everyday life, but especially with a Whatabox experience, part of the experience, it is the emotion.
Yep.
And so I can only imagine, like, for you, how, like, look, there's emotion in a box, and this is all happy things. So it's like, even though it's like, oh, you can't mix business with emotion, but to a certain degree, it's like, okay, well,
Yep.
down this dividing line, like, look, I need you to produce at a certain level, or
Yes.
this isn't going to work out. So with that being said, like, what advice would you give, or what would you encourage people that are building out their own business, or that they're currently working in business, even if they're not just starting out, but what advice would you give on dealing with some of those dynamics that it's like, you were good in my business for me and for the business in the season, but it's time for you to go.
So I would say the first person that had to go, that couldn't go, was me, right? I had to change some things about myself. So I had to accept now that I was in charge and
Mhm.
trust my instincts, right? So I had to let go of the second guessing. I had to let go of not, you don't trust yourself. You're second guessing everything, so it's taking longer, and the perfectionism and all the different things that come along with you want to give out the best product because you want to receive the best product if you're in the store purchasing something, right? So the first thing, well, I didn't even know that this was going to happen, but throughout the process I did the beta testing first. So for a person that's just starting a business, I would say beta test. Don't just go out into the market because a few people in your house think your chicken is fire, right? You need to go out and find out if your chicken is really fire, okay? So I think one time Taco Bell tried to come out with some chicken. It's Taco Bell, like, well, we not gonna get your chicken, Taco Bell, like, so you have to find out if this is a product that's really a need on the market, and if people, and then you have to be willing to take the criticism. Like, you're going to get your good responses, but you also have to be willing to take the criticism and die to yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I had to, during the beta testing, I had to figure out what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, and realize this part of me can't go. If I take this part of unhealthy me into my business, then it won't succeed. And so that was like some months. I was really good with making connections, getting with the distributors, doing the boxes, and then the business and the system aspect came up. And I'm like, this isn't really my forte. Like, I have to figure this out. And so when you're bringing people in, first of all, you have to make sure that their personalities complement yours, that you're going to get along, that you can trust them. What are their life values? A lot of times you go into an interview and they don't care. They're just like, what, they're looking at your resume. They'll ask you some questions. How do you handle difficulties and things like that? But the thing is, if something happens in a small business and someone just quits, then that leaves everything to you. You have to really be able to trust people when you're bringing them into a small business, that God forbid something happens to you, that they're willing to ride with you, that they really, really, really believe in what you're doing. So that was a task. I'm right on a year of having the Whatabox experience building. And although I'm like curating boxes in the background, I haven't even totally gone to the public yet, because there's a certain level of structure that you need when you're bringing your business out. You have to be very cautious at making sure that your brand is branded. So if I'm saying I'm having a luxury gifting experience, I can't come out with it not being luxury and then I want it to be luxury in January. What I say it is, it has to be. McDonald's can't say we have all beef patties and remember the rumor that was going out saying it was horse meat. Like, what is it? So I have to ensure that what I say that I'm providing is actually what I'm providing. And so people like you and other members of the mastermind, they came together, they helped me, they gave me their look, this is what we think you can do better, their critiques. And I'm just grateful that I had, the coaches that we have to even tell me, do a beta test. I would just recommend, before you do anything, that you test it and try it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And you know what? That beta testing, I never had really considered that, especially with writing the book. I found out from another one of our cohort mates, my editor. Shout out to Mel T, who you guys saw last week. I didn't know that there is a beta testing of sorts when you write a book. And
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, I'm sorry, what? And she's like, yeah, there's a team of people who review your book before you release it to the public. And I'm like, I never would have thought. And I'm like, what if my team hates it? And she's like, I'm sure everyone's not gonna hate your book,
Yeah.
but it helps with the marketing. It helps with like ideas for what to do with the release. And I mean, you guys, that's why we're here right now. I
Yep.
thought that I was just gonna write my book,
Yep.
I was gonna release it, and I was gonna go on about my happy way. And one of our coaches, he's like, you know what? No, no, this topic is too, no, you don't just write a book like this and then you just leave people for another year until you write the next book. What if you never write the next book? And I'm like, no, I'm going to write the follow-up book. And he's like, how many authors say that? And I'm like, you know what? I never thought about it in that
Mm-hmm.
way
Mm-hmm.
until there were other people in my peer group that were like, oh no, we're reviewing your work while you're working. Don't just wait and bring this final product and say, okay, I'm done. This is what I think is perfection. Because when you're looking at identifying what perfection is by
Yeah.
yourself, I guarantee you somebody else is going to have some suggestions and different things that even if you say swear up and down you don't want to hear it, they're going to have something that you're going to be like, dang, that would have made my product or
Yes.
service that much better had
Yes.
I had that testing group.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really good.
One of the big that I think that is what saved me and kept me, and even because of the experiences that our other our I call them friends now, our family, the mastermind family have, because they've also fallen in love with it. They're actually able to push me, because there are times when you're looking at it and you're saying, "Oh my goodness, I'm used to working for someone for a paycheck."
Mhm.
And so if you've lived like that all of your life, one thing that ET said is you're willing to give all of these hours to someone else's dream. And what about your dream? And so now I'm literally walking in my dream. Some days it's a nightmare, some days it's a nap, you know. But I am actually able to, I can see the end from the beginning. And
Mhm.
that's the blessing in it, that God has designed us to do a certain thing. And it's not, some people, everyone's not meant or cut out to even be an entrepreneur or to have
Mhm.
a small business or to be a coach or to write a book. But for the people that are, it definitely takes a team of individuals who really care about you, who they are not in it for the money. They're in it because they
Mhm.
want to see you succeed. I think that is one of the key components to success, is having the right group of people around you that really truly care about you and care about the destiny that God has placed in you and the purpose that you have for your life.
That's facts. That is facts. So while you've been building your brand, what were some of the expectations that you had for Whatabox? Whether it's some new expectations or expectations that you started out with, and then what did it look like when reality hit?
Okay, so y'all know when Martin says, "I'm about to blow up." That's how it looked in the beginning. And I was quickly humbled. Okay. I still know that I'm about to blow up, but
Oh.
there was work. There
Mhm.
was work. I can really see on the horizon, because of the beta testing and the ability to give it to so many different people that are in different walks of life, that people that have the money to purchase anything they could in their life for themselves, but they love Whatabox because they don't have to do it themselves.
Mhm.
So I'm learning, I'm feeling it, I'm falling in love with it. It's just like being pregnant with a baby. I'm feeling the kicks. I think I'm past the morning sickness stage, I'm ready for the ultrasound, I'm able to see the baby growing. And I'm starting to have the labor pains, and I'm about to give birth. That's where I am with it. And I'm very excited. The baby has a name, the gender reveal has happened, and now, yeah, it's time. It's time for me to push. So I am very excited. I know that this is not my doing. This is something that I was just called to do, to give. And this is just the beginning. Whatabox is going to be the conduit to a whole bunch of different things that change people's lives. Um, it's about legacy.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. I you said so much just there, and you had like my wheels turning.
Mhm.
um I was thinking about, oh, I know what it was. I was thinking about how the great expectations that you had, that you was just like, yes, right now, this what we
Yeah.
doing. And if y'all can't tell from my personality, just in my podcast episodes, y'all can look. I can't even count how many times, y'all, I was on that same type of time. Like, yes, we do
Yes.
it right now. And it's like whether the situation, life, reality, or if, sometimes I have the helping hand of a friend, and it's like, hold on, unbridled unicorn, reel it back in. You got glitter flying out your tail, and you are just running into the field of rainbows. And I'm like, I am. Let's go. And it's like, mm-mm, because we got to look at all of these things first.
Yes.
And going through some of this journey with you,
Yeah.
um it like some things you can't see it until it's already done, and
Mm.
then you can see it. And I'm really just thinking about like your story has helped me in just being accepting when it's time for me to be like, okay, let me reel it back in, let me be patient, let me give this thing time to grow the way that it's supposed
Amen.
to.
Yep.
Because I can so easily see how that initial moment, those expectations that we had, that if it had been like, I'm off to the races, I could see how everything would have imploded
Yep.
and everything would have been going amazingly right. But just as quickly as that premature rise comes, the
Yes.
fall happens just as fast when you aren't prepared. And all of those like small, all those small things that you missed, all of
Yep.
those things that are like small micro cracks,
Yep.
you, and this has happened for me as well
Yep.
as I've been growing my own business and brand. Just taking a look at like, oh my goodness, I didn't even see, I didn't even see that. And I looked at this same thing like 10 times,
Yep.
but because I was so focused on the experience, making sure that everyone is happy, that people are getting more than what they asked for, more than what they bargained for, there are like small gaps in the systems that I'm like, oh, let me go back and fix that, because I didn't see that, didn't see it, nope, okay. So I'm really glad that things have worked out the way that they have for you, only because of you being able to fulfill like this purpose, and how much joy it's bringing to so many people right now, and how the people that is bringing joy to right now, how that's going to be able to multiply without falling, because you're doing the work and doing the steps in the right way. And to the audience, for you guys, we talk about and have talked about quite a few times, making sure that you're able to be coached, that you're coachable,
Amen.
that you've heard us bring that up many times in this conversation, talking about our coaches. Well, I wanted to do, but my coach said.
Yes.
And when I listened to the directive, these are the results I got, because we had these great expectations, but the reality of our expectations, sometimes they don't exactly match up the way that we thought it was. So there, I will say that that's a big takeaway for you all. Make sure that you catch that point,
Yep.
that when you, especially if you paying for a coach, that's what you got them there for. But
Yes.
some of y'all got free coaches. I ain't gonna say nobody name, but you know why I just cleared my throat for you. You know who I'm talking about. Some of you all in your lives, you have friends that they're your friend is your coach.
Yep.
Your friend is your free coach. You know he is, you know she is, you know they are.
Yep.
And just like I talk about y'all, for y'all your good friend being your therapist, your good friend is sometimes your coach. And the things that they're telling you, if you're being coachable, they telling you for your good. And if
Yeah.
they not, y'all know why we are here. If they are not coaching you in something that is for your own good, giving you advice for something that is for your own good, and to make sure that they're helping to cover you and stand in that blind spot that you may possibly have, and that's another form of them pouring into your life. Look, refer back to whatever episode you need to go back to, because look, if they not friending, if your friends ain't friending right, everybody can't go. Y'all know this. Y'all
Yes.
know this.
Yes, that's an absolute fact. And two, I think that a lot of times people, your friends don't even understand the business aspect of it, but they understand the consumer part. And so
Mhm.
you have so many people around you that you're able to use free of charge. I never even thought about the fact that once I put a product in the hand of a shipping company, I don't have control anymore. Whoo, that's a whole thing within itself. They can tell you it's going to get there. They will take it to the wrong house. Anything can happen. And so you're not, these are how you build your policies, your procedures. All of these things need to be in place, even as an author, as a coach, whatever type of business you have to have your standards, your procedures set into place, because it's not if something happens, is when when it happens. Things do happen. The rewards are just great to see. Wow, I'm able to do this. Like, I set out to do this. Don't get discouraged. Keep on the trail of I think I can. I think I can. Remember the little engine who could, because you can do it. It's really accepting that this is your call and then walking in it. And I mean, I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm also a full-time employee. And so for me, I'm giving my best for someone else's dream. And it's time for me to give my best for mine. And so you find the best people, you find your best friends, and y'all sit down and you do. I have had sessions in my house, and we go back and forth. Candle smells. You wouldn't believe how many candles I went through, how many different types of ribbon I went through. Oh my goodness, like how many types of boxes that I went through to say, no, this isn't the one, that ain't the one, this isn't the one. And so to really give, whatever you're doing, do it with all your might. And remember that, how would you want something to come to you? And I just think we're in a blessed season. I'm so looking forward to what's coming in the future. And I do know on this path that everybody can't go. And I'm
That
okay with
part.
that. If I told you the story about how many people have fallen off since being in the mastermind, and how a whole new set of family and friends have been built in my life, and I wouldn't have looked at my life 2 years ago before being in the mastermind and thought that it would look this way, that strangers have become friends.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. Now, at the beginning of what you just said, for all of my business owners out there, you thinking about starting a business or you an entrepreneur, she dropped the nugget and went past it quick. So don't let me keep seeing this online. Oh, my friends and family don't support my business. She just gave you a key right there.
Hmm.
With that beta testing, you have your beta testers. You
Yep.
know they wasn't buying it no way. And you know they gonna tell you an earful about what you
Yes.
ain't asked. So go ahead and ask. Go
Yes.
ahead and get a batch of your product and give it to those same people so that you can get something out of it other than you being mad and posting online. Make
Exactly.
sure that you are
Yeah.
using your friends and family to both of you guys' advantage, because they want your product because they nosy. They
Yep.
want it because they nosy.
Talk about it.
And so go ahead and give them that product so that you can get that review. And this time you are soliciting their review. You are soliciting, well, what do they got to say about your dot dot dot? And go ahead, let them say it with attitude too. And with that, go ahead. Let them say however they got to say it. Make
Hmm.
sure you got your pen and your notebook and all of
Yes.
the complaints they have. Go ahead and write all
Yes.
that stuff
Because
down
if five
so that you
people
can make
say
some
the
product
candles
improvement.
stink, if five people say, oh, that candle don't smell good, then it probably doesn't smell good. And everybody's not hating on you. And we get into this thing and we take everything personal. That's one thing I just decided not to do. I don't take it personal. I feel like if it's a mistake and it's a mistake that I made, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to compensate for it and I'm going to fix it. And I also have realized too, another key thing is to serve with your gift. So the thing that God has given you to do, serve someone else with it. There are certain people that will call me and say, I need a gift, and they don't pay, because I know the blessing I'm literally sowing into them, because I know what is going to come back to me. I know what God is going to do, because it's an act of service to who he's telling me to serve. Never be afraid to serve. That's the biggest thing of small business, is service. Who's going to benefit? Not just who's going to love it and it's going to fill their need, but how does this benefit the community that you're in? So like, I have Whatabox, but on the side I also make bags for young ladies for during their cycle. So, and I take them and I be in underprivileged schools and things like that, so that during emergency times, if they don't have it or if their parents are and I put it in a pretty bag with the, you know, affirmation on it, so that they know that's one of the hardest times in a young woman's life, is that change and that pivot from going from a girl to a young woman. And so always when you're doing your business, make sure that there's an active service that comes along with it.
That's really good. That's really good. So this has been awesome. This has been amazing. And yeah, I appreciate your attention to detail. I still have my ribbon. I
Oh,
put
yeah, I was
the
feeling
things
the
I
ribbon.
didn't
I was not playing about the ribbon because I know how
look.
important it is to women.
Okay, okay. And look, shout out, Whatabox is not just for women, it is for men as
It
well.
is, yes.
So if you guys are ordering Whataboxes, you can order it for your girl, you can order it for your man. And then also one of the things that we talked about this a few months ago, when you were saying that Whatabox is something that people can send if you're not the best of a gift giver.
Oh, that's the perfect
Whatabox
example.
takes
Yep.
that out for you. So be sure, like right down below in the show notes, we will have the contact info for you guys if you would like to have a Whatabox curated, if you would like to gift it to someone. We are quickly approaching the fourth quarter and the
Christmas.
holiday season.
Yeah.
So y'all know around here we say the fourth quarter starts at the end of quarter three. If you wait until October,
Yes.
you don't waited too late. So we already living in the future,
Mhm.
y'all, while we doing things right now.
That's good.
So look. So we gonna make sure that you guys have the information that you need. If you would like to have your own Whatabox experience, and if you want to go ahead and take a little gander before you order your own, you guys already know. Check out Everybody Can Go, the number 2 on Instagram. You guys can go over and check out my unboxing video where I took out everything in my Whatabox. And then you can also follow Whatabox on Instagram yourself so that you can see other unboxings, not just mine, so that you're able to see that it wasn't like she just made a super special Jessi box. She is going to make a super special insert your name here box, or whoever you're gifting it to. So thank you so much for coming on,
Oh,
Melissa.
thank
I
you for
really
having me, Jesse.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. I couldn't. I just look. I couldn't hold it in too much longer. Like it's been a while since I got my box, and I was like, ooh, no, I have to have her on here, because I really really enjoyed the experience. I loved it, and for all of you guys, I hope that you guys watching are able to have that experience or gift the experience to someone else. Like, you know how I told y'all, what was it, about 6 7 weeks ago, when I told y'all, look, if you don't like it, DM me. I'll give you your money back.
Right.
This another one of those. DM me. I will give you
Dear
your
me.
money back.
Mhm.
Okay. So thank you so much for coming on with us. And we will see you guys next week for another Everybody Can't Go Convo.
Thank you, Jesse.
Of course.